Welcome back to the channel. My name is a-bomb. We're back with Football Manager 2020 and Believe in the Blades with Sheffield United in 2006, and we're in the middle of our Christmas New Year busy fixture congestion period. We're taking on Spurs today, who since we last met have risen to top of the table, overtaking Man United, who had a very good start. They've since dropped off a bit and Spurs have gone top, so it's going to be a difficult game today. And we've been in our worst run of form since we started the season. We've conceded a lot more goals, and yeah, it's starting to look a little bit more shaky now. We're 11th, we're looking good in that respect, but the form has taken a bit of a dip in the past couple of episodes, past sort of 10 games or so. Not been great, but hopefully we can get some sort of surprise result against Spurs today, maybe beat the current leaders. That could be amazing. We did get a draw at White Hart Lane, so hopefully this one will be just as good. But if you're enjoying the videos, drop a like down below, leave comments, and if you haven't done so already, or if you're new, do consider subscribing and turning on notifications, and let's jump into it. So last episode we got a 1-0 win at home against Newcastle with Alan Quinn scoring the penalty. Our third consecutive win on camera. Actually a really good run. Usually it's the opposite, and we win all of our games off camera and then we get to the actual video and we lose. It seems like the curse has been reversed in this series, which is nice. We played 4 games off camera and started off with a win at the Valley against Charlton Athletic, a team that I've been to see a few times. They became sort of like almost like a second team to me around this time, because I went to see them with the school and they became a team that I sort of started to follow, like especially after the season when they got relegated to the Championship. They were my Championship side. But we beat them 1-0. Dean Shields with his first goal for Sheffield United and got that goal just before half time. Didn't know how this was going to go, because Charlton had a very attacking formation with 3 strikers in both the Bent brothers and Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, so I wasn't sure how this was going to go, but they weren't that good and didn't create very much at all. We got the win and got another 3 points. The next couple of games didn't go so well though. We hosted Arsenal at Bramall Lane and suffered our joint with the 4-0 defeat to Chelsea, losing 5-1, conceding 5 goals. And just didn't really help ourselves out defensively. Like, we tried setting up a bit more defensive and it didn't really work. Arsenal took a 3-0 lead in the first half. Giorgio Chiellini scored, the signing from Juventus. And at this stage, I think he's about 22, 23 years old. So that's a great signing for them. And then from the penalty spot, they made it 2-0. Lauren taking the penalty. Surprised that he was on it. But anyway, that was 2-0. And then a couple of minutes after the penalty, they made it 3-0 with Tomasz Rzycki getting a goal. I think this might be his first Arsenal season, the Czech. I'm not quite sure, but he was an underappreciated player, I think, for Arsenal. We kind of lost his place after a little while, but he was always one of my sort of more favoured Arsenal players. In the second half, they did score a 4th through Robin van Persie. Fantastic long-range goal. We did get a consolation goal through Danny Webber on 63 minutes. One of our, I think it was our first shot of the game, maybe. And then Arsenal got a 5th with 5 minutes to go. Abu Diaby off the bench, getting number 5 for the Gunners. So not a great performance. Not expected to get a result here, but I would have liked a bit more of a fight from them and not to concede so many goals. Then we lost 2-0 at Upton Park against West Ham. This one again didn't go particularly well. Better than against Arsenal, but still lost 2-0. Couple of chances. Tonge again was good creatively, but Akinbaye, probably time for him to move on maybe. He's not been fantastic. Started okay, but hasn't been doing well since then. And again, defensively we weren't bad. It's just West Ham, just a couple of goals. Again, set pieces are a problem for us, and West Ham made it 1-0 after half an hour. Nigel Reo-Coker with the header. And it was actually headed onto him by one of our defenders that actually headed it to Reo-Coker, so that wasn't good. And then in the second half, it was 2-0, and again from a set piece, Chris Armstrong ended up putting in his own net. So that was the second goal. Not great, but could have been a lot worse, just didn't get a goal ourselves. And then we did the double over Fulham after a 1-0 win at Craven Cottage, which you saw the episode before last. We won by the same scoreline at home. Nick Montgomery with the only goal of the game that came on an hour. And that was it. Gave a few chances. Fulham didn't really create anything and they were very poor. We had one chance maybe other than the goal. So yeah, it was a good win, I guess. Good defensively once again. But yeah, our results have been hit and miss at the moment, not very consistent. So we're going to try and mend that as we enter the second half of the season. We're going to try and get a good run of form together, try and get some consistent form. We've had some good wins and some good results in the first half of the season, but a few really bad ones. 5-2 to Portsmouth springs to mind. Against Chelsea and Arsenal, we were expected to lose, but conceded a few too many goals for my liking. But we've got some good wins along the way, and we are in 11th place, so we're we're doing pretty good. We're in mid-table, 10 points clear of the relegation zone, so I'm not too disappointed. Just some of the performances haven't been great. We're into January now, so the transfer window is open. We have got a bit more money available, which the board have given us, so we can maybe do something with that. In terms of what we need to sign, I don't think we really need that much. It's just trying to sell some players as well, because we have a massive squad still. So a lot of these players, so Laketti, Geary and Kozluk and Gillespie are probably all going to go. Kozluk and Gillespie we have had bids for. Norwich are going to buy Kozluk for 200k. And Gillespie's going to go to Hull for a little bit of money. So we're going to get a bit of money back in and then see what we need. I think a better backup goalkeeper might be good to have, because Bennett probably not really even good enough to be a second choice. We do have Kiko Casilla, who's in our reserve squad at the moment. It might be good to get a better second choice keeper. Other than that, I don't think we actually need that much. Maybe a better left back than Unsworth, because he's not been too good recently. Armstrong's pretty decent, but yeah, Unsworth hasn't been great. So maybe a better left back. I think maybe a central attacking midfielder could be helpful as well, because Alan Quinn doesn't really play that well there, and he's better a bit further back. But we do prefer playing with this narrow diamond. Dean Shields plays there. He's had 1 goal so far, and again, hasn't been great. So maybe getting a better central attacking midfielder could be good. Maybe not as a shadow striker though. Maybe as something like just an attacking midfielder, or a, I don't know, a Trecatista or something. Who knows? I think that might be the one position where we actually really do need a player, and then we can move some other people on and try and free up a bit more cash. That's the plan anyway. We'll see if that happens or not. So, against Spurs, let's jump into the match. Now, they are strong favourites for the game. Top of the table now, as you can see. They have a 3-point lead over Manchester United, who have dropped a few points. Spurs have been going from strength to strength. This season, I think they finished just outside the top 4. Because it was the season before this was the whole lasagna gate, where Spurs missed out on the top 4. Because they had a lot of their players get food poisoning, and Arsenal ended up getting it. So, yeah, they didn't quite make it then. This season, though, they're doing very well. And I don't know how they did that season. Like, sort of, I think they finished 5th. But, I mean, they had Berbatov doing well for them. I think they might have had a few injuries here and there. That might have been why they didn't do so well, like, compared to how they're doing here. Now, the other issue is that our wingers, Alembe and Gengini, are doing really well, I think, for their reserve games that they're playing, because I get people playing for the reserves just to keep their fitness up. But I don't want to steer clear of this diamond that we've been working on, so I can't play them as much as I'd like to. What we have been experimenting with as well, not starting games with it again, but sort of midway through a match, is playing Jagielka as a libero. I've never used a sweeper or a libero ever, I don't think, in Football Manager. And it works quite well as a libero, so it could be something worth looking at, and it really sort of maybe sorts out our defensive lines as well. Definitely something to think about. Let's try that libero today. Let's give it a go. Fitness-wise, we're not too bad. As I say, this is a pretty busy schedule. We played on Boxing Day, and then we played 2 days later was the Fulham game. And then now we've got this on New Year's Day. So it is a little bit congested at the moment, but that's fine. We'll get through it. Spurs with Robbie Keane and Berbatov up top, midfield of Hitzelsberger, Edgar Davids, Jermaine Genius and Aaron Lennon, and then a back 4 of Asa Ricotto, Michael Dawson, Deadly King and Paul Stalteri, Paul Robinson in goal, and then the bench we've got Defoe, we've got Tom Huddleston, Meadow, Davenport. Huddleston was one of those players that had a foot like a traction engine. Like, he scored some fantastic long range goals, and he had some power on his shots as well. I found a video recently from this season of a goal of the month competition, and some of the goals in that 1 month were stupendous, like Huddleston's goal, Matty Taylor with a 40-yarder. There were some incredible goals in this season. They really were. Hitzelsberg with a corner here for Spurs, 8 minutes in, and it's a header just over by Michael Dawson. I need to focus on the game. Stop talking about goals of the month. I'll link it in the description if you want to see it. It really is brilliant. Hopefully this result will be okay. So far, one highlight that's gone Spurs' way, and it was that set piece that just went over. But 24 minutes coming up, and it is Jermaine Genius to Stalteri and Lennon. And Genius to Davids. Good spell of possession here for Spurs, but not really making any forward progress. Switch of play. Okay, there's a lot of space out here for Asa Ricotto to have some fun. Again, it's a switch. Okay, we're very narrow at the moment. This is where having wingers was really helpful, because they've got a lot of space out wide, and that's going to be a penalty for Spurs. Aaron Lennon's won it. Yeah, penalty given to Tottenham. This is probably going to be Defoe taking this. Sorry, no, Keane. That's what I meant. I'm thinking a bit too further ahead. Robbie Keane from the penalty spot. And it's in. 1-0 Spurs, 25 minutes played. Kenny went the right way, but could not make the save. Premier League leaders lead at Bramall Lane. Kenny didn't quite get there, but he went the right way. I didn't pick my bench properly. That's the thing. You go for the suggested squad and it ends up doing your bench for you and it gives you a goalkeeper in the squad. I don't want a goalkeeper on the bench. Justin Hoyt. No, he has dropped off a bit. He's had some really good games for us, but dropped off a bit. That's a good ball for Danny Webber. Can he set up Nade? He can, but Nade can't get it on target. I don't think he scored a goal for us yet, Nade. That was close. Good chance created, but didn't get the equaliser. We didn't even put any wingers on the bench either because I'm determined to get this narrow diamond working. But it's different. We are going to bring Jagielka back up as a deep line playmaker defend. Again, bring that diamond back in. But again, Quinn hasn't been very good. So dropping him back maybe as a Mezzala or a box to box could do that. Chaplow I think is better as a Mezzala. He is. Let's do that. The diamond doesn't quite work. It's not fantastic. Because there's always one player at either end which doesn't quite work. Usually it's at the top end. Good tackle there by Hoyt, but haven't quite cleared the danger. Robbie Keane, oh, good goal. Kenny doesn't quite get to it. That's 14 for the season for Keane. He must be up there in terms of the top scorers at the moment. 2-0 Tottenham, and it only took about 3 minutes of the second half. Decent effort with the tackle by Hoyt, but couldn't get the possession back. And then Keane with a volley. Kenny did get to it, but couldn't stop it from going in the net. Here they come again. Asu Ekoto. Berbatov and Lennon, and this could be 3 here. It is 3. Kenny can't do anything about that. It's 3-0 Spurs, and yeah, this has been the story for us at the moment. We just can't stop conceding, and we're struggling to score as well. We didn't score. We scored 1 against Arsenal. Sorry, we didn't score against West Ham. We failed to score here. We're just not creating anything for ourselves, and at the back, we're shipping way too many goals. Hoyt's having a bad game is 6.3. We are going to make some changes. Quinn is going to come off. Montgomery is going to come on. Nade is going to come off. And Cabba is going to come on. We'll have an advanced forward and we'll make Webber a pressing forward. See, again, we played badly, but Tonge has been trying to create stuff. We just can't score from it. And hopefully this isn't going to be 4, but that's a well-won header by Justin Hoyt. Michael Dawson. And a play to Genus now. Asu Ekoto. Huddleston's on. Genus. Again, they've got way too much space. That's the... Oh, good block. Very good block. Jagielka heads away. Montgomery to Tonge. Header further forward. But see, now we've got the missing link between the midfield and the attack. Because we haven't got that central attacking midfielder. Lennon with a cross. It's Keane. Oh, it is cleared. Not very far again, though. We just can't get out of our half at the moment. We've had very few shots. Right, Jagielka's going to come off. Shields is going to come on. Shadow striker. Let's drop Montgomery and we'll go back to the diamonds. I mean, we're just trying to limit the amount we concede now. We haven't looked like scoring today. We have 1 chance. And yeah, after 3 wins in a row on camera, this one hasn't gone quite as well, but this is a much tougher game. We've had Reading, Fulham and Newcastle in those games on camera. Newcastle were doing pretty good, but yeah, this is like completely different. Like, we're playing a really good team here. Clearly, they're leading the Premier League. Paul Stalteri scored, and there's a good goal as well. And that was almost exactly like the last one we conceded against Lennon. 4-0 again. We can't stop losing by 4 at the moment. Chelsea, Arsenal, and Spurs are all beating us by 4 goals. Lennon's running rings around everybody. Come on, someone please win a tackle. And let's try and create something with 3 minutes left. Huddleston, well, I said he had some power on his shots. That one wasn't quite a very good example. I've made 3 changes as well. And thankfully, this one's over. Sheffield United 0, Tottenham 4. Wow, those defensive ratings tell the whole story, I think. It was pretty terrible. Tonge and Chaplow were good. The central midfielders were very good. We just couldn't create anything or couldn't finish the chances we got. And our defence were just terrible. We didn't create anything. I thought we might have had 1 chance from that, but no, apparently not. So we're past halfway now. That was our 21st match played. We're in mid-table. That's good. But some of the performances recently haven't been great. I mean, conceding goals. We have the 4th worst defensive record in the league behind Wigan, who are just ahead of us. And then Watford and Villa, who are the bottom 2. In terms of goals scored, we're okay. 21 goals. Arsenal have scored 52. That's more than 2 goals a game. we're not doing that badly. I mean, Spurs have conceded just 9 goals all season. That's ridiculous. So we've got the FA Cup game next with Man City. I'm not too fussed how we're doing that really. I'd like to get to round 4, but I don't think it's that likely based on how we're playing at the moment. Bolton, hopefully we can get a result there because they're, I think, bottom or second bottom, so we should hopefully get something there. Middlesbrough, I'm not sure how that will go. West Ham, we weren't great at Upton Park. We'll see if we can get an improved result at home. Wigan, they can see quite a few goals, so that might be good. And then Man City we've already faced, so I don't want to do them again. We're going to see if we can get to Arsenal for next time. If I don't, then I'll just do whichever one I get to. But hopefully we can get to Arsenal before next episode, and we'll try and do that. That's a tough game against the Emirates. We lost 5-1 at home. Who knows what's going to happen at the Emirates? And this is their first season here as well. This is the first season Arsenal had at the Emirates after Highbury was shut down and demolished. Anyway, that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below, leave comments, and if you haven't done so already, if you're new, do consider subscribing and turning on notifications. Time to stop leaking so many goals. Time to start scoring a few more, and then hopefully we can get some more points. And let's not get drawn into a dogfight in the bottom of the table. I don't want that. So hopefully we can do a bit better in our next few games. Going into January, you might see some new players next time as well. So maybe playing 6 games off camera isn't a good idea because there's going to be some transfer news as well. I might stop off a bit earlier and do Wigan, but we'll wait and see what happens. For now though, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.